The forest swallowed an entire military convoy, but one soldier came back, and he said something was still hunting him. Deep in the abandoned iron mining jungles near the borderlands, there's a place maps stopped naming years ago. Rusting cranes hang over the trees like giant skeletons. Train tracks vanish into vines. And every night, people hear metal footsteps echoing through the jungle. Locals call it the Iron Ghost. Most think it's just another campfire story. Until survivalist and former combat tracker Marcus Vale disappeared there for 19 days. When rescuers finally found him, he was barefoot. Dehydrated. And carrying a rusted military dog tag that belonged to a soldier who died in 1971.
Marcus only said 3 words before collapsing. It followed me. Marcus was famous online for surviving impossible places. Frozen mountains, war zones, abandoned cities. Millions watched him because he never panicked. But this mission was different. He entered the iron jungle alone, with cameras, satellite gear, night vision, and enough food for a month. The first 2 days looked normal. Rain, mud, ruined factories. Then, the audio glitches started. At exactly 2:13 every morning, his microphones picked up metallic breathing. Not animal sounds. Not machinery. Breathing. And every night after that, it got closer. But what Marcus captured on day 7 is the reason his footage was never fully released. On the 7th night, Marcus set up camp inside an abandoned ore processing tunnel. His camera battery was nearly dead. Outside, the jungle was completely silent. No insects. No birds. Nothing. Then, clang! A heavy metal sound echoed through the tunnel. Marcus grabbed his flashlight. Another clang. Closer this time. His camera caught something moving at the edge of the darkness. Tall. Thin. Dragging what looked like chains across the concrete floor. Marcus shouted into the tunnel. "Who's there?" No response. Just another metallic step. Then, the flashlight flickered. And for half a second, the figure was gone. But the chains were still moving. That's when Marcus realized something terrifying. The sound wasn't echoing from ahead of him anymore. It was behind him. His body cam jerked violently as he turned, and the footage cut to static for exactly 11 seconds. When the video returned, Marcus was outside the tunnel, hyperventilating in the rain. His backpack was ripped open, his food supplies scattered, and scratched into the mud beside him were fresh words. "Leave before it wakes." Marcus later claimed he never wrote them, but the handwriting matched his own. What happened next turned a survival mission into one of the darkest disappearances ever recorded online. After day 10, Marcus stopped speaking normally.
His journal entries became paranoid. He wrote that the jungle was changing shape. Paths moved overnight. Ruins appeared where none existed before. He kept hearing soldiers marching in the fog. One entry simply read, "It's learning my voice." Then came the final transmission. The footage begins with Marcus running through heavy rain at night. Trees crash behind him. Metallic footsteps pound through the mud. Marcus screams into the camera, "If you hear me, do not come here!" Something shrieks in the darkness. Not human. Not animal.
Then, a massive silhouette appears behind him for a split second. The video freezes and abruptly ends. Rescue teams searched the iron jungle for nearly 3 weeks. They found Marcus wandering alone near an abandoned railway bridge. No backpack, no equipment, no memory of the last 6 days. But investigators noticed something disturbing. The rusted dog tag in Marcus's pocket belonged to Corporal Elias Reed, a soldier officially listed as missing after a classified jungle operation in 1971. There was only one problem. According to military archives, Elias Reed would have been 78 years old. Yet witnesses claimed the figure in Marcus's footage looked young, almost untouched by time. Today, most of Marcus's recordings remain unreleased. Some say the government buried the story. Others believe the iron jungle itself is alive, feeding on anyone who enters. But locals still warn travelers about one thing. If you ever hear metal footsteps in the trees, don't run. Because according to the legend, the last ghost of the iron jungle only hunts people who try to escape. Would you survive one night in the iron jungle? Comment "Enter" if you'd go in, or run if you'd never come back out.